Devastated husband discovers his wife secretly earned over $10,000 performing inappropriate acts on Zoom for a fitness client. Alright guys, welcome back to Alpha Talk. So for today, I'm going to share a story titled, I just found out my wife is being paid to do things to herself on Zoom by one of her fitness clients. She's begging me to forgive her, and she's made a huge mistake. I'm so lost. A big shout out to Chris for sending me this story. And guys, this whole story obviously is coming from the perspective of the husband. And he basically thought everything was cool until he started noticing very suspicious PayPal payments that his wife was getting. At first, he brought it up to her, and she said, "Oh, just a new job. That's just their new way of paying things or testing things out." He was skeptical, but okay. But then he started noticing more and more big payments coming in, like an additional $7,000. Again, he knew something was up, confronted her, and to no surprise, she blew up and made him out to be the bad guy and all that. You're going to find out that she was making her money, not from the job that he thought she was making her money from, but from a different type of way to make money. Okay, and I'm doing this story, guys, for a couple of reasons. One, to just once again show you how in today's world especially, you just never know what's going to happen because it's so easy for women to get lots of attention and validation online. Social media, dating apps, even go as far as things like OnlyFans and other ways that women can make money by, showing off their bodies, etc. And so, as I've told you before, so many women, all women, love attention and validation. I've made that clear in plenty of videos before, but some take it to a whole new level. Okay, and a lot of times situations like this arise, OnlyFans or other ways to make money in things, and ends up destroying marriages. It's crazy. So this is something you guys have got to be aware of if you are in fact going to get serious with a gal or get married, and you got to pay attention to what's going on, okay? Because some of these women cannot handle it. They need the attention, and it gets out of control. And you're also going to see in this story, guys, another lesson is that when he confronts her on this because he's in the right to know what's going on, she ends up twisting things around to make him out to be the bad guy and blows up at him and all that. Okay, if it wasn't bad enough that she was doing this behind his back, she then blows up and makes him the bad guy, gaslighting, twisting things around, making it that it's your fault. How many guys watching now have had a situation with a girlfriend, woman you're dating, your fiancé, your wife, where she was doing something, and you were in the right to call her out on it, and she made you the bad guy, right? It's crazy. Just these things to point out for those of you guys that do relationships, or if you're going to get married, things that may possibly happen, not saying it's likely it will happen, but you never know in today's world. So it starts off before 7 a.m. This morning, I thought I had the perfect life. I had a gorgeous, intelligent, and hard-working wife. Well, hard-working, that's putting it one way. A beautiful 1-year-old daughter. We've all been so lucky in the last year, as the last year forced us to reprioritize, and I thought we were better off for it. My wife got laid off from her corporate job last year, and she started just doing very low-quality home workouts on YouTube. We started to get a slow following. The videos got much better, and out of the blue, a nationwide gym, which was a chain, took notice of her and got in touch to see if she'd like to host some online classes for them. She said yes. And before we knew it, with the combination of YouTube and the gym, she was making 75% of her corporate salary, working 15 hours a week and basically being a stay-at-home mom. Well, that's a pretty good deal. 15 hours a week, and she's making 75% of what she was in her previous corporate job. That's sweet, not having to do the 9 to 5 or whatever the hell it was, go through traffic and all that. It's a good deal. You would think that more money, that was good enough. No, it wasn't. He says he continues, he says, her being able to focus on our daughter meant I could accept a more challenging position at work. And overnight, my salary nearly doubled, and we were doing awesome. This is awesome. And it sounds like they're probably now making more money than they were before when she had the corporate job. So certainly no need for her to start bringing in money other ways. Last month, I decided to finally get started on our taxes and noticed that she had about $3,000 in PayPal payments that didn't have any notes on them. I asked her what was that all about, and she said the gym was trying a new payment system and she was part of the beta test. Sure, I said, no matter what, we need pay stubs for taxes. She said that she would see how they were going to handle that. Honestly, let it slip when the IRS extended taxes by a month. I decided I need to do the taxes for real this weekend, and noticed again that she had about $7,000 more from the same PayPal address. $7,000 more? What the hell is she doing? Imagine in his mind, what is going on here, right? But I also noticed her paychecks are being deposited into our checking account. I asked her if she had the pay stubs from the PayPal payments. And she got insanely defensive and basically said it was none of my business where her money is coming from. And damn right it's his business. He's her husband. This is a partnership. They're married, and obviously, they gotta obviously declare their earnings, both of them, and so forth when they do their taxes because they don't want to go to jail. And he's handling all that, like I'm sure he probably did in years prior. So it's every right to ask about it, but again, notice the gaslight, notice her twisting things around already. She's getting mad at him, making him out to be the bad guy, and you're going to see more of this in a moment. I tried to calmly tell her that it is my business, and we need to report the $10,000 in income, or we are going to be in serious trouble. She accused me of always being a controlling a whole, with her reaction going from 0 to 500 miles per hour in 1 second, and I decided now was not the time to talk about it. See, how dare you bring that up, you're the controlling a whole. And she blows up at him for having every right to bring up where this mystery money is coming from. She took her daughter to her mom's house and told me she'd be back when I wasn't being such an a-hole. Some nerve. Now, we all know mostly what's going on here, but the fact that she's doing all this behind his back, and yet she is now blowing up. And when he brings it up and yelling ahead and calling him an a-hole and making him out to be the bad guy here, that's just 10 times worse. She wasn't at home, like she wasn't home. So at like 10 o'clock, I called her mom to see if she was there. Her mom said that she told her that we had had a fight and she was checking into a hotel room and the daughter was spending the night there. I asked her if she knew what was going on and if I needed to come pick up the daughter. Her mom said no, but the wife was near hysterics, saying that she's never messed up this bad. But the daughter was asleep and near hysterics, saying she never messed up that bad. What could be going on? So I called my wife, but her phone was off, so I tried to chill as best I could. Well, that's really rude, and the hotel, I'd like to know what's going on in this hotel. At like 6 a.m., she came in the door and she said, "We really need to talk." She confessed stuff that I never want to repeat again, but the short version of the story is this, that one of her regulars in the online fitness class is a well-off widower, and my wife reminds him of his wife. They start off staying in the fitness room, talking, but slowly he started hosting private Zoom meetings. And he says not Zoom, but just using that since everyone knows what I mean. He started sending her PayPal money for her time, but over time the sessions and his requests became more and more sexual, and the money just kept going up. Well, nobody was forcing her to do this. Clearly they were doing well financially, so what gives? And I have a hard time believing that all this came from just one guy, and just for supposedly doing Zoom things, so to speak. Okay? I have a very hard time, unless this guy is so wealthy and so lonely and so, let's be honest, beta, that he would do this. I just don't quite buy it was all on Zoom, and it's all from the same dude. I just don't. And given the fact that she's lying and blowing up at him and all that, that says a lot. One would have the right to question these things. And of course, is the mysterious one off to the hotel room that night. She says before she even knew it, this was happening, and she was basically having video, you know what, with him and being paid for it. She could have stopped at any time. Come on here, she was in desperate need of the money, she liked the attention, like the fact that somebody's willing to pay that. I mean, come on here, I feel like my life is shattered. I see her sitting in the next room as I type this, and she looks like a stranger. She's begging me to forgive her, and says the situation just got away from her. Just got away from her. She says she understands this is cheating, but I never got physical. And she rationalized that was better than being physical. Well, of course, there's rationalization there. I'm so lost. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to ask her. What do I tell her? What do I demand of her? Can we go on? I'm so lost. I need some other way to gather my thoughts. What do you guys think about all the above? Good Lord. What do I think? I think that she obviously was loving the attention of validation. That's what I think. And obviously money wasn't an issue, but, you know, she had a kid, she's married, obviously not as desirable she once was when she was younger. It went to her head. A lot of people that start off on social media or go on YouTube and they start getting a lot of attention, it really goes to their head. They can't handle it, okay? And they want more and more and more. This sounds like a lot of situations where these women start off on Instagram, for example, posting some pictures of themselves. They start getting a following from guys, and then the pictures get more and more explicit, you know. First is bathing suits, then it's lingerie. That's what, you know, gets worse and worse, and she gets a bigger following. The next thing you know, hey, I'll do it, OnlyFans. And next thing you know, guys all over the world are paying to see her doing Lord knows what on OnlyFans. And again, sometimes it's just, you know, lingerie and underwear and things like that. Next thing you know, she's stripping. Next thing you know, it's getting more graphic, and then it's videos, and there you go. It's crazy, but this is the type of things that happens in today's world. And guys gotta unfortunately pay attention to the small things. But this guy, he didn't see this coming. What should he do? My opinion is cheating and she's lying and all that. Well, first of all, he can keep all that money. I think that's the first thing she can do. Give him that money. And the begging for forgiveness, it's already gone to her head, okay? I don't see her being able to stop, okay? I just don't, and in my opinion, it's cheating. So it was me, bye. But anyhow, there's a few comments from the comment section I'm going to read here, just to show you I'm not alone in my thinking. Now, one guy says, the way she was going about it tells me she was never going to tell you and keep this secret. That's what I think, but how could she not? Obviously, she wasn't thinking logically here, because a lot of times women don't think logically, they think emotionally, but obviously that money. There's going to be a trail, so she's going to have to report it somehow, right? And is going to find out about it. Because he handles obviously he handles the finances and the taxes, so what do you think she's going to have? I think it was going to happen. She doesn't regret what she did, only that you found out. It's up to you on what you're going to do, but ask yourself, do you want a wife that is lying to you? Can you cuddle with her at night knowing that this has been going on? She disrespected your trust and insulted your intelligence. I hope you can make the right decision and drop her. Yeah, again, when he brought it up to her, the worst thing about it was, it's bad enough she was doing what she was doing, but the fact that she was lying to him, coming up with some BS story, and then blowing up at him and making him out to be the bad guy because he was inquiring about this. Okay, it was bad enough before, but now she was yelling at him and saying he's a selfish a-hole and all that. Some nerve. Another guy says, she cheated on you. She's having, invaded with a man, not you, and she was never going to clue you in on it. Mind you, I'm not against that kind of work. However, there are those type of workers that are married or in relationships that work because they are open about their boundaries in place. Your wife hid this from you, a firm no-go, right? It's unless you brought up to say, hey, I can make a lot of money doing this, and obviously the guy would have said no, but again, they obviously didn't need the money. And lastly, another guy says, exactly, her claiming that things just got away from her rings really hollow when she already lied to her husband about where the money was coming from, and then ranked in another 7K of porn sessions after that. Even when caught red-handed, she went on the defensive and tried to lie her way out of it. F all of that. I gotta say, I agree with these guys, By the end of the day, this guy's going to do what he's going to do. But the odds are that this happened once. One way or another, this is going to happen again. And even if she stopped, I guarantee you that dopamine effect, that adrenaline rush that a lot of people get when they're doing something that's dangerous or a big thrill, a lot of people get that when they get a lot of attention. She's going to start craving that. It's like a sugar high times 100, okay? And probably it's only a matter of time, but why I could all see this going is her saying, you know what, I can make all this money doing this, so screw you. So, who the hell knows? But guys, this is, like I said, an example of what happens in today's world, given the technology that is available at people's fingertips, so you gotta watch out. And also an example of the gaslighting and twisting things around to make the guy to be the bad guy when he didn't do anything. Alright, this guy was doing it from this perspective, everything right, So anyhow, guys, that was an interesting story to share. So be sure to comment down below, let me know what you think about this, and be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.